Hello, everybody, and welcome to TV Shows Revisited, the spiritual successor to Quantum Leap Revisited, which was ran on this channel for a few years. And on this show, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to look at these kind of classic shows and give you our analysis on them, and also hang out with you as we sort of rewatch and revisit them. And we're really excited to be here and open the new year with a brand new show. Before we even jump into things, I already see a super chat, which is very nice. Mary White, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Without Googling the answer, what kind of car is Kit? Bonus points for the year. I think it's a 1982 Pontiac Trans Am. Gonna go with something like that, I think.
Could be.
Could be. Somebody is welcome to Google, but that was my opinion. I don't know if I was supposed to give the answer, but
Side note, Backyard TARDIS says he's backstage, but I don't see him. So you might want to resend him that link.
Okay. I am going to send him the link again.
And while the new open was showing, I saw a lot of love for it in the chat. Everybody seemed pumped. I was certainly pumped. It was a great open. It really signifies what we're going to be doing this new year, and I'm super pumped, super excited for this.
I am too. And then wait a second. I don't know if it's getting strange messages now.
And
anyhow,
yeah, and it's always great to see the chat pretty active this early on. Mary dropped a super chat even before we were on the air, so
cool. Yeah, no, very, very nice of her, and always greatly appreciated. I'm just trying to check to make sure Nick can join us,
Sure.
but basically, yeah, it's a whole new thing we're doing here, and it's very exciting. It's new on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's not so different than the type of hanging out that we've done in the past. It's just we're gonna be, checking out different shows, and they're all gonna be, I'm not limiting anything. I'm not saying we couldn't look at a brand new show, but I think that we're really looking for classics.
Yeah.
Something like a Knight Rider and other things. We're also gonna, discuss with you guys in the chat, and we'd love to hear, things from you, things that interest you. You also have my email available, and I'd love to hear what shows interest you. In some cases, maybe we can even do a vote or see what people enjoy or people want to hang out and watch.
Yeah.
And we
talk about, yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot of cool options here, and a lot of new possibilities that we didn't have before. I mean, I loved the Quantum Leap show, but we did go through all the episodes, and I think we did every type of ranking you could think of afterwards.
Yes. Nick has entered the building.
Yeah, we left no stone unturned afterwards.
Yeah. Nick, did you see
that? Was weird. I could see that the two of you were in there, but you guys couldn't see me.
No, you weren't in there. It's weird. Did you see our new open?
No.
Oh,
I was sitting there waiting because it like I couldn't even see you guys talking. I could just see that it said two people were in there.
That's weird, and we couldn't see you in the panel here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Script is on his way back from work, so that something may happen soon where he'll pop up. And Knight Rider.
Does the chat want to see the open again so Nick can see it too?
It's up to the chat. Did you like the new opening?
Oh my God, it was fantastic.
All right. For Nick, I'm willing to show the new opening. Are you ready, Nick?
And Script says that
hold on,
the link has wrong too. Yeah.
The link is what?
Wrong.
Okay, let me try
so
again.
Let's get him in here and then we'll redo it.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
That is so strange. I don't even know what happened.
You know what happened? They changed the name of StreamYard to Bending Spoons US Inc. That's what happened.
Let's see if this one worked.
All right, let's try it again.
I'm so sorry, Script. Hang in there. I don't know. I thought I got everything right, but There was an older stream that never happened. That it was something like something I did, and it didn't end up happening. And I think when I tried to copy,
You sent that one instead? It probably would have happened to me too, but I usually use my admin login. So, bending spoon.
okay, now hopefully
Bending spoon.
script.
Yeah, for sure. Script has entered the building.
Oh,
He's backstage.
okay, he's backstage.
Yeah.
At the stage. Okay, we're all here.
Hey,
Hey, sorry guys, sorry I put the wrong one. But
two
since
have been
we're here-
two wrong ones.
two wrong ones. I did everything wrong. But you know what?
That's okay. You're here. I'm here. We're good.
Now we're gonna. Rose said I should show the intro again since we're all here. So I'm
It
gonna
was
show you the new
fantastic.
intro. Are you
We
ready?
see how it is.
ready.
Ro was the only one willing to show up last week, so he
Okay.
got special treatment.
See?
Cool.
More energy than the previous one. I feel
Yeah.
like this one, like, you know.
The chat's jaws were collectively dropped.
Mm.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. And we're all here now, so we can do this thing. We'll probably have guests from time to time, and I think that this format is going to be a door opener also for more guests to show up from time to time because we're doing a lot of different things now. And yeah, this week we're doing Knight Rider. So I guess before we jump into it, I think that today we're probably going to work on episode 1. Nick, if you know where episode 1 ends, tell me, because I watched them both as like a two-parter in
yeah.
one episode. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once I get to the part where it ends, then we should end like episode 1. Next week we're going to do episode 2, because episode 1 and 2 are the pilot. But I think that we should get a chance to really discuss what we think of the show. And if we just rush 2 episodes, I don't think it'll have the same
And I'm
effect.
going to say something. Episode 1 to episode 2, I actually saw a significant quality increase. Even though they're both the same pilot, it almost looks like they filmed episode 1 as to get it greenlit and then went and filmed episode 2 afterwards.
First of all, you're not 100% wrong. What I read is that they initially filmed some things. Maybe at the time they showed it prematurely and they had marketing material. Initially, what they did was, we'll get to it, but there was something of a plot change. The things in the desert with the car and something that's happening in the desert, they filmed that first.
Okay.
And apparently they didn't even know who was going to play the non-Michael Knight David Hasselhoff, like the non-David Hasselhoff. They didn't have the actor yet. So in that scene when you see the shadow, it's actually David Hasselhoff and not his double. But let's see if I can share this thing.
Beautiful.
And before we jump in, just if you have any comments quickly on the show, if it's something that you grew up watching, Ro.
Well, I have watched several episodes. I'm not sure if I was like a hardcore Knight Rider fan. I know Knight Rider because I used to watch Battlestar Galactica growing up, and that was more my cup of tea. Obviously, Glenn Larson had something to do with both shows, but I think for me, it was one of those shows that I watched. It was on. I checked it out, but it wasn't. I guess for me, it wasn't like culturally relevant. in the overall scheme of things, like a Star Trek or a Star Wars to me as a young kid. I loved the adventure. I loved the self-driving car. Kit was fantastic. The red eyes back and forth, obviously. But it wasn't a show that it's like, oh my God, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. If it was on and if I remembered, I'll watch it. So if that's what it was kind of like for me.
I see. Script, how did you feel about Knight Rider?
For this pilot, or the show
Or
in general?
just in general, growing up, like what you thought of the show?
I barely watched it. Yeah, I would watch it when it would come on here and there. But yeah, it was not really my priority on any show list. I was more interested in Star Trek, The Next Generation, reruns of Batman, Green Hornet, Wild Wild West, All in the Family. Like those are the shows that I ended up. The Norman Lear shows really were what I was looking at. Glenn Larson shows not really on my list or radar.
I see. But the pilot itself, when you watch now,
Oh, the pilot this is a horrible pilot. Like it felt like 4 hours. Granted, like lots of pilots are really bad. It's just the nature of the game because they're trying to establish everything and play out the rules. And then after usually about 8 episodes, they figure out what the show actually is. And then they just go get underway that way. But yeah, no, this is a pilot that as we get into, I'll point out a lot of things that's missing from it, and which is pretty typical for a Glenn A. Larson pilot.
Well, the truth is, and this is what I was reading, there was a lot of additional footage shot. There were changes made after they already started filming something initially. They didn't have it's like what Ro was saying. It's almost like they needed either to show something to the network. It seemed like parts of it were rushed, and only later they started filling in the gaps of what they needed for this episode. So it was interesting when I read about that. Nick,
there's some weird things. There's a guy who wrote a Knight Rider companion, and it's really in depth and it gets a lot of stuff bang on. I don't know if it's in the book or not. I can't remember. Maybe it was a different one, but I remember when I got into the industry and we were looking at old pilots and we're looking at old shows, and after over years you hear various stories. I remember hearing about the Knight Rider pilot that the original pilot version didn't have that first opening act. It actually started with David Hasselhoff hidden in shadows getting shot in the head. And everything else leading up to before that, the casino, all the partner stuff was not there. That was all shot much later. And I think we put it out afterwards. Like it was just, all we knew is that this guy stumbled onto some sort of crime happening. He gets shot by his partner, who you infer is the blonde. And then the rest of the episode continues somewhat as it was, with anyone watching wondering what the heck is going on.
There was also something about the other lady there was also there was another lady at the beginning that you see, that Lonnie lady was supposed to maybe be his love interest. There was more stuff going on that they initially did, and they filmed it that way, but then they had to shift things around. So this is a really reworked pilot. It's a pilot which was filmed one way. They added scenes. The scenes of the burglars trying to get the car, that didn't exist initially. And from what I understand, they had to refilm it later because they didn't have enough time. They were missing time for episodes. So they had to reshoot and do something with that theft. The two
Which was
robbers,
completely irrelevant to the entire story. It was padding.
yeah, it's complete padding. It's literal padding. They're just like, what do we do here? Let's just have two weirdos try to steal the car. And they're just like, okay. Nick,
it was very reminiscent of that time though, that goofy, the goofy car thieves. It's definitely a low point of the episode for sure.
Yeah, it's goofy and it's really after the fact. It's not something that originally was there, and I agree. Script, what you're saying is true. They initially, that's why you see the shadow of David Hasselhoff, but then you see that other guy in the casino. There was a lot of things, and that also goes hand in hand with what Nick was saying, that the first episode felt kind of wonky. Nick, when you grew up, how did you feel about Knight Rider?
So this was a huge show in my house. Both my parents absolutely loved this show. And so it was a big one with us. In fact, show that we watched after this that normally wouldn't have been a show for my family, but they watched it because they like David Hasselhoff so much, and this was Baywatch, which is not my parents' kind of show. But this show it was so cool. And even I was still sitting down and watching this with my mom in the early 2000s, watching reruns of this. Would watch reruns when I got extra TV time at my grandparents' house, along with all the other classic TV that I'd watch. But this was probably one of the more newer shows that I was watching reruns of. And to me, while my parents really like David Hasselhoff, for me, it was hearing the voice of Feeney as a kid, that watching it in reruns, when I realized where that voice, who was doing it, that was just the most amazing thing. And the concept of the car, like I wanted this car just as much as I wanted the DeLorean.
Yeah, the thing about the car for me is I was into self-driving cars like Christine and Herbie from the Disney movies. I loved all that
I like
stuff.
Kirby.
Yeah, so Kit was just another one to add to to my collection of smart cars.
Yeah, and to Sean's like there was camp in this. The camp actually I think gets more extreme, and it's funny because the second part of the pilot, I didn't even remember the first half, but the second half with the race, that is burned into my memory. That is probably one of the most replayed episodes on reruns, is that second half of the pilot. And it was interesting that you said some of that was filmed first, because the voices and some of the mannerisms that David Hasselhoff uses and stuff like that, and the sound of Kit all sound better in the second episode. That first episode,
it was almost like an afterthought. Somebody in the chat said they didn't introduce the fact that Kit can talk to when they introduced the car to Michael.
But when he first talked, he didn't sound in the voice that he does through the rest of the show. But then a little bit later, it was the regular voice. But it was more roboticized initially.
Yeah,
probably.
Kind of melatonin, so it didn't have good.
I want to also mention Sean is just, Sean gets an invite for all of these panels, and whenever he can, he's going to join us. But he really does work in evenings, so I'm not putting any pressure on him. But he always has the link, and he's always invited. So I just want to make that clear to everybody. And even seeing him in the chat is always fun, and it's always great to see Sean. So just letting everybody know that he's still very much a welcome guest, and we'll see him from time to time.
And
but
we miss him.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we miss him for sure.
For sure, yeah.
And go buy his comic, Smacked in the Head.
You should do that totally. Let me try to share the Knight Rider pilot video.
Don't forget to embiggen it.
Embiggen it, yeah.
And mute.
Yeah.
And I have to mute it, yeah.
So for as much as I watched this in my youth, I completely forgot the origins that happened here in the first episode. And I just think it's a crazy idea of getting cast as the guy that we're going to cast you as the star of the show, but you're going to have a fatal accident within like the first 30 minutes.
Oh, wait. Sean is saying that the link doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he might have gotten the same issue I had.
Okay. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Sean. Sorry,
They did
Sean.
the same thing to me, Sean.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This time I can say sorry, Sean, and it's not because I said a bad word.
It's funny, when I was watching the opening of this, I was surprised, and obviously I think they'll do it in later episodes, but I was surprised that the voiceover wasn't present. I remember it ending saying something like going on an adventure with a man that doesn't exist.
Right.
But it does it
Yeah.
at the conclusion.
It does at the
right at the
conclusion.
end,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
but only
Also
an
an afterthought.
abbreviated.
It's after
like
it's an afterthought because they did not know what this show was when they made it. This show was basically, wouldn't it be cool? We had a car that couldn't be destroyed and can talk to the driver. Yeah, what's it about? It's about a car that can't be destroyed and can talk to the driver. Right, but what are we going to do? We'll just get David Hasselhoff in there. We'll do some sort of thing with, solving mysteries or crimes. Does he work for the cops? No. Work for the FBI? No. what does he do? Private wealthy guy. He works for. He just travels
And
around the country.
if this show came out today, the story of the pilot would have been the story of the first season.
Maybe. I mean, there's been 3 or 4 attempts at rebooting or sequelizing Knight Rider.
Well, I just mean like as far as like if it wasn't a reboot or something like that, like the way they do shows today, like they build this whole plot. He's on this mission to take these people down. So much so today they do these like one season, even with long-standing shows, like they just did the Tony and Ziva thing for NCIS, and they just basically made it a whole one season story.
Well, yeah, they make it a 1-season story, but I can assure you by the end of the pilot, if they were to do it today, that the revelation would be that Kit would talk in the last 5 minutes of the episode.
You're probably
And
right.
everybody's in the house. Full panel.
Everybody,
This is
full
lovely.
full panel. We got it. I really didn't think Sean was going to be here. I'm so surprised, Sean.
Yeah, me too. I've been working like the last 9 days straight.
So, for those who do care about the opening, I believe, and I actually should know this by heart. I'm not reading it off anything, but it's something like Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade. Something about championed the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals that operate above the law.
But
Something
first,
like that,
revenge. But first, revenge.
Well, in this one, he just wanted revenge. That's probably why you don't have that narration, but I think that's what usually happens at the beginning of the episode later. But they do already have David Hasselhoff. They have Edward Mulhare.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dr. Goldman from the $6 Million Man.
That's the funniest thing. I feel like in this pilot, I feel like they initially wanted Dr. Goldman to be like a bigger role, and something happened, and like you just see him and he disappears, and nobody ever explains it. It's the strangest appearance, and he kind of, even though they give him a different name, he's totally, Oscar Goldman.
Right.
Like if they just like copy pasted Oscar Goldman into here.
I wonder if this would have been, and then script, you can correct me on timelines as far as the year, but maybe this would have been a cool, kind of like a crossover, like the MCU, like start getting other TV stars into these shows. If it was Dr. Goldman. I don't know what year. I can't remember what year $6 Million Man was. I think it was like 76, 75.
No, it was later than that, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah, I can't remember. I loved, obviously, the Battlestar Galactica connections. We've got 2 actors from Galactica in
They
here.
did Boomer bad.
Yeah, you killed Boomer in the first
Yep.
first scene.
So,
whatever.
Here,
Herbert Jeffries,
which ones were the?
the technician that's on the ladder in the hallway is Boomer.
Oh, that's a Battlestar Galactica one.
Yeah.
Yes.
$6 million Man, 73
Oh, okay.
Really?
To-
That early? Oh, I always felt it was
to
later.
78.
Yeah.
So that's why he had black hair in that one, and he has white hair in this one, I think. But but he still looks like himself very much. In any case, there's kind of a sting operation, and there's a CEO of some Comtron or whatever that
Comtech.
Comtron.
Comtron, yes.
Sorry, Sean. And Nick. I may not have pronounced that one correctly initially.
There's about 5 years in between those shows.
Yeah.
In any case, so it's like a sting operation, right?
It wasn't too clear to me at the beginning, and it was a little convoluted, but
It was
I
not a
agree.
sting operation. They're just trying to follow this person that they didn't stage that the materials would be in this casino. They were going to be there because the person's staying there.
right.
They infiltrated. Michael, whatever his real name was, is I guess a police lieutenant at the age of 30.
And
who
this
had
was his
infiltrated
partner.
undercover to find out something going, like, we don't know what, just find out something about this guy's computer chips that he's making. and they kind of stumble onto the fact that someone within that company is stealing them.
I was confused who the other guy was that kind of looked like David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
He was an actor hired after they had already shot the pilot, and
Right.
everything that we're seeing here was shot after the fact.
Mhm.
It's all so weird, and it really is kind of convoluted. It's like it almost felt like Austin Powers, the way this lady goes into the room and she's
Mhm.
taking pictures with her little camera of the microchips or whatever it is.
Well, I think it's trying to more ape what Austin Powers is making fun of, James Bond, and to me, it gave me a very Mission Impossible, the TV show vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, but the reason I brought up Austin Powers is when something is supposed to be serious and I watch it and start chuckling, it's because I guess it looks more like a parody of itself than whatever it's supposed to be.
Right.
And that's kind of when I felt when I saw this lady taking the pictures. But part of it is also it's kind of dated. It's an old show, so her with this camera with the flash or whatever it is, it's all kind of silly. But
Taking
whatever,
pictures
it's
of
fine.
a circuit board.
Right. And this guy is the most useless, whatever he's supposed to be doing here. I mean, what's he even doing?
He is pretending to be an electrician, monitoring the front door to see if anyone is going to break in so that he can follow them out and then eventually find out who the buyer is to whatever materials this person has stolen inside. It is complete convoluted trash.
So the plot is that there's this group that's been doing computer espionage, and so their task force has gone undercover to try to catch them in the act, to prove who they are and break up this ring.
But the thing is, there's been no establishment of an act aside from the theft from a private company. There's been no establishment of that theft causing harm that would warrant the police getting involved.
Well, and
or
that's
any
where
agency.
all of this
Exactly.
is actually not really explained until the second episode, which is why it makes sense that this is filmed after the fact, because it's filmed almost like a flashback, because we're hearing when we get to the other one, that company, they're full of a bunch of goons that are, roughing up the town and all this stuff. There's this whole kind of idea of something wrong
of the
is going on.
company. The president of the company is the one that's conducting the espionage. There is no reason for any of this hotel stuff. She already has access to everything. She's the president of the company. She's not the owner. She talks to the owner that he's the
Right.
one that
She's having an affair with him.
but she was the president. I mean, she's the one that fired what's her name's husband and then killed
Right.
him to cause her to be this really beautiful looking waitress at that restaurant until David Hasselhoff accidentally gets her fired. It's so convoluted because she already has access to it. She doesn't have to stage this elaborate sugar trap, honey trap to go in, take the photos, and go out.
No, it doesn't make any sense. And like I
She
said
even says,
initially,
I have the codes to this thing. We can get out now. It's like, what is this?
they also wanted it. The lady now that's in the room taking the pictures, she was supposed to have an affair. Initially, the way the script was scripted, and even something that they filmed, it was suggested that she was having an affair with Michael Long, who was going undercover or something. And all of that, they edited it out or changed it or reshot it or did something. So that's interesting also that she used to have a different role. And it's not like in the screenplay level, they filmed something and they changed it, which again adds to the convoluted feel of this episode. In any case, he notices this
with
guy
the
is
perm.
supposed to be the Michael Knight guy. I have to say that he looked better as Michael Knight later than he did as Michael Long.
I mean, listen, that's not his natural hair. They permed his hair to look like David Hasselhoff, so you could say, hey, it's the same guy.
The same guy. And then she took pictures of the thing. And then, okay, so this guy's at the table. And then meanwhile, there's another guy. So one guy is the head of security and one is the CEO. Is that what the idea
One
is?
is the owner of the company. The blonde is the president. And then the other guy is the head of security that was hired by the president.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that was confused by all of this.
Yeah, it took some organization for me to figure this out.
And then
I
the
mean,
head
it's a big leap too to kind of accept the premise, because the rich guy that passed away that ends up dying, the inventor of KITT and all that stuff,
Willard Knight.
He you would think that there would be an easier way to kind of either get revenge or go after this company rather than to create, this self-aware car and all this stuff.
The
all these
first AI
resources.
car in the world to find this lady with her stupid microchip.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The Knight Institute is completely unaware of any of this that's going on.
That's what I was going to ask because I never got that.
They have no clue that this is an existing issue. What's weird is how after this guy gets shot in the head with a helicopter, they just find him and pick him up.
Okay, so I didn't miss something. I thought I was
Yeah.
going crazy when the
It's
helicopter
like they're just flying in a
landed.
helicopter. Oh, look, there's a dead body. Let's go see if he's alive, if we can save him.
It's
and turn him
so
into a-
random. Yeah, they're
amazing.
like, we were
Yeah,
always
but
flying
they-
around looking for that body.
But they do know who they were that it went after him, because they're giving him details on it later. So I don't know if it's later in the season if they ever tie back to this or not, but it almost feels like maybe they had gone after something that was part of the production of Kit, or because they mentioned he's a genius and that he's previously made inventions
Right.
only to have it swiped out from under him.
It's very
Well,
weak.
wiped and put away in an archive, never to be shared with the world. That is what he's
Yeah.
saying.
Very weak the way they tied it. By the way, the Michael, even David Hasselhoff doesn't look like he's at the age that he was at Vietnam. This other actor certainly doesn't look like he served in Vietnam, but
No, he's like 25.
Yeah.
like I remember at some point David Hasselhoff in the cell was like, well, I remember in Nam I did this, and I'm like, you were in Nam?
So do you-
Did they change Michael Knight's voice to
No.
launch his character? Because I feel like at the beginning of the pilot, his voice is closer to this actor's voice. It's a
Mhm.
little lighter. And then as the episode progressed, they let Hasselhoff like do his own, voicing. And I think, was that on purpose? Was that
No,
by accident?
Hasselhoff dubbed this guy's voice.
He did?
Or is it the other way around? Because his voice sounds very light, and then Michael Hasselhoff's voice at the beginning of when he appears also starts to sound like him. It slowly gets out of it, but it's very like Peter Brady when it's time to change. It sounds very light.
Mhm.
Maybe
It's a
just
rush
him doing it
job.
youthful, I guess, but no, it's he dubbed over the voice for the entire thing.
Well,
But
it's
he
a rush
is
job.
doing a different voice. That's what's weird,
Yeah.
is that and that voice doesn't immediately change when his face changes.
Right.
And
Oh, and here's
Um,
one Battlestar Galactica shooting another Battlestar Galactica actor.
You know what happened? Because they filmed this later and they probably did this an even bigger rush job, I assume that Glenn Larson called his peeps, meaning he probably called these guys because he already has the rapport with them. They already know him. And he just said, listen, there's some pilot. You'll get a few dollars. Do me a favor here. Just show up and do this thing. And this almost feels like a quick favor. They paid them, but it almost feels like a favor. These aren't roles that they're going to stay in the show. This guy's already dead. And the other guy is,
Yeah. I'm like, wait, they killed Boomer?
He looked familiar, and I was like, they already shot him? I thought he was part of the show later on, but I guess not.
So here you have this Lonnie lady who initially they filmed it in a way that she has a romantic relationship with Michael Knight, but she doesn't anymore here.
Is she
This is
is she the actress whose agent told her not to do the show? I read that somewhere. There was an actress that whose agent said don't do the show. They did the pilot, and she actually admitted she went on to regret that decision because the show obviously was a hit.
But what would she have done on the show? I mean,
this
I
is
don't-
Phyllis
it
Davis,
was-
I think, right? Yeah, this is Phyllis Davis. She dies at the end of the pilot.
right, that's what I'm saying. That I don't think this would have been a big future. The only thing I'll say is if the actress you're talking about, there was a role that Patricia McPherson or whatever her name is,
Right,
got that
yeah.
role. If it's that role and she didn't want that one, then that's dumb.
Yeah.
But back to this thing, they meet up here for the rendezvous with all the stuff and the chips and all that nonsense. And Michael, the way he thinks that he's sort of, and this is also so convoluted and weird, like Script said and Rose said, is that he needed this Tanya lady in order to go undercover Michael Knight.
Right.
But why was she pretending to even cooperate with him? Why does this help anybody? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the end game is. All these people
I
are
don't know
cooking.
if she knew that he was undercover. He's
No, not
he's
yet. I
been
don't think.
hired as the bodyguard. I don't
Right,
think she
but
knows that he's police.
But he's telling her, "Oh, someone is stealing it. We have to go get it." And this is the part that seemingly he caught, I guess, the head of security red-handed, without ever realizing that the head of security and this other lady are coordinated. And once,
yeah.
you know, and the big reveal is that she has the gun, and then he says like, "Give it to me," and she's like, "Oh, I'll surely do that," and then she like shoots him. And
He's
then
also
he-
really
Blank in
bad
the
at.
head.
He's also really bad at not getting shot in these episodes.
Yeah, he gets shot in both shoulders, but only
Both
one heals
shoulders.
magically.
Now I have a question. This is Milty, right? This Milton, whatever his name is.
Milton
And-
Knight.
Yeah. So why are they in a helicopter looking at this guy in the desert? I mean,
No
Were
clue.
they looking for them after the dispatch said that they fled? They left.
it's so unwell explained. And the other thing is, if this man Milton is supposedly going to die in 5 minutes, he's on a helicopter, supervising this operation, because when you see him for a few scenes and he's like on top of his game, he's like full of energy, full of life, talking all this stuff, and the next scene he's just in bed and he's like, "It's too late for me." I'm like, "What do you mean? We're just-
You just got off the helicopter.
you were
Used
you
the
were
last
just
of my
like
strength
commanding
for
an
that trip.
operation. What do you mean it's too late for me? Like, I'm too sick and I can't move. You don't go from like managing the operation with a helicopter in the desert to dying.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's so weird.
And he lives in Wayne Manor, apparently.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, no,
But
he's
in
a,
any-
he's a family with the last name of Knight, so he has to live in a castle. That's Glenn A. Larson's thinking.
To be
there's
honest,
a lot of
this-
silliness. This
the
is
whole-
him where he's.
You know, this entire 2 episodes just seems like it was shot with like extra footage of another show.
It feels like some other television show, like 3 other shows were shot, and then they just kind of put it all together to make
Yeah.
one. Because you have to understand the context for this Michael Long character. He's a cop. He gets shot point blank in the head. He's not taken to a hospital. He's taken to a private estate where his face is completely surgically altered without his consent, as are his fingerprints, and he's technically held prisoner for about 3 months in recovery.
And he's
And
been
they
declared
also-
dead, but nobody recovered his body. So why is
No,
he
they
declared
grabbed the
dead?
body from the
No,
morgue, and
they said they explained that.
Yeah, they grabbed some sort of name, John Doe, and then used that to replace Michael
Yeah.
Long's body.
so.
They panned over here. I'm like, oh, cool, Dr. Goldman.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing, that he just appears. Maybe this was another favor. Maybe initially these scenes didn't exist. I don't know what relationship Oscar Goldman had with like Glenn Larson, but I feel like another favor was called in here. Or initially maybe Devin's role was supposed to be Oscar Goldman's role, but I'm not 100. Something is so strange about this. Because obviously this doesn't look like an actor that you bring him to do his typical shtick, but you don't want him to stay. Like, why not? He'd be perfect to be here.
Yeah.
You can't have a cast too large for this show, because one of the things that Glenn A. Larson was told after Battlestar Galactica is make a cheaper show.
Yeah,
I guess.
And
So-
basically the show is, we have a car, that's our standing set. And then we got David Hasselhoff, and then we'll have this British guy that I'll coordinate with, and then we'll bring in a female love interest, and then we'll do that for the next 4 years.
We'll ride
No,
around
no.
the country.
There was something, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they say something like that because of something that happened in Vietnam, Michael has like a plate in his head, so that's why
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the
It bounced,
bullet
it
ricocheted off his face. This is like the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Which is
It's
also
it's a
funny
higher
because
jump, higher than what the kit car can jump.
people who have like a plate in their head, it's never like their forehead. Like if you,
Yeah,
if
it's
you have
always-
something happen to your
Top of the skull or
forehead,
side.
you're dead. It's like usually like a side plate because of a shrapnel or something. You know, it's not the most like important part right there.
Listen, even though this show is about a talking car and all that, the thing with the plate, like Rojo said, it is a real stretch. This is like such suspension of disbelief that the
Now,
bullet hit his plate and
Beyond,
didn't.
because his entire forehead would have been mangled in Vietnam if he had to have a plate in his forehead.
And he doesn't look like at the age, or even he doesn't even have the kind of vibe of a guy that was in Vietnam. But
I mean, let's assume that he was 32 years old in 1982, which means he's born in 1950, which means he could have entered in Vietnam at 17, 18 years old.
I guess
Maybe he was one of those ones that he was just there for some of the last weeks there, and he got injured and got sent home.
So this would technically be the second reconstruction of his face in his lifetime.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
What did he look like the
Completely
first
different
time
than
around?
where his original one was more closer to him. This one is like, no, we made him look like a younger version of Wilton Knight because vanity.
Well, see, maybe that's why he looks so young. Is after they put the plate in, they gave him some really good plastic surgery.
Mm.
So more advanced than ever at the time in 1960s and 70s.
So Michael Knight, he gets up and now he's just doing exercise and stuff. He's just like nothing happened.
Yeah, I feel like he's after he woke up from the surgery and he's got a different face. I feel like he's very nonchalant about everything.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
I'd be
the
like,
only
where am I? What am I doing? Who are you people?
I better start exercising because I've been laid up in a bed for 3 months.
Right. Totally weird. And then also, I guess initially the Devin and Milton are talking about like, what are they saying here? Do you remember this conversation?
Something about you trust this man.
Oh, right.
You don't have a lot of time left.
Oh, and the timeline of the kit,
Oh, how long is
Kit-
it going to be till Kit's ready to go?
right?
And he's
Double
like,
shifts, walk around
Yeah.
the clock type of thing.
Yeah.
finish it in 48 hours because I'm going to be dead.
And then this is the part where he's like, you want revenge, don't you? But one man really can make a difference, or some nonsense like that, right?
I think
Which
it
is never
says
even
that.
really a thing
Yeah.
for the show.
Robot
until the
head in
last
the chat.
Sentence.
Hey, Robot Head.
Did you guys get the feeling that this is becoming a little more Batman-esque? Like he's got an Alfred character. He's got a secret identity, technically.
It's
He's got
technically
an awesome car.
It's technically a Batman Beyond because Wilton Knight was doing something in his youth. Now he's got this Terry McGinnis guy, and unlike Cadmus, this is the one that altered his appearance to be more closer to the main character than.
Yeah, I felt like they should have
wanted
kept the old guy on longer because I got that same vibe.
You know what it gave me a vibe of, and it would have been its contemporary, but that was Magnum PI.
Another Glenn
the-
Larson.
He's got the butler character that's always giving him, but the money is coming from this. Well, in this show he's dead, but this other outside factor like just gave all this money, and then there's this kind of butler that's stuck with him that has to help him, and then the action hero.
Just
So
quickly,
very
I want to read
Batman.
this super chat, not super chat, sorry, it's chat from Robot Head, who's a friend of the channel. I am the Knight Rider. I'm a fuel injected suicide machine. I'm a rocker. I'm a roller. I'm the out of controller. I'm the Knight Rider, baby. We ain't never coming back. That's from Mad Max. So the funny thing is, I was telling him that we were going to do something about Knight Rider, and he initially thought it was the other Knight Rider, although I think that he likes this Knight Rider too. In any case, back to this thing. This is the part where he like steps out, and this is the part where he meets Kit for the first time.
So dramatic.
Yeah, apparently he sneaks into this garage at the at night for some reason.
And Milton is still here at any hour. He's already like up and running.
He just got off
Ro-
the helicopter.
Ro, what was your thought the moment you saw this?
Which one? What part?
The
This
first
scene right
appearance?
there where he's in the garage in the dark.
Cylon was going to approach him.
Just
I mean, it's
mean,
making
one
the
reference.
Cylon noise too
Oh.
while he.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
this
and
the-
actually the engine makes the Colonial Viper sound. So I mean, obviously they have a little bit of the sound library, but when Kit accelerates, it's the Cylon, it's the Colonial Viper engine sound.
And that
So
dashboard is so ridiculous.
Fan theory now, Ro. Is this the first Cylon? Is Kit what becomes the Cylon race?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a good one.
Because this isn't Earth, it's Caprica.
Yes.
This and V'ger.
So this is the part where I think he's like, oh, it's like Darth Vader's bathroom. What does he say? Something like
Yeah,
that.
he says it's like Darth Vader's bathroom.
That's probably the best line in the whole
That's the
pilot.
best line of the whole line.
Yeah.
Like everything is so generic and like not outside the box, and the only thing that's kind of offbeat is that he's like, "Oh, it looks like Darth Vader's bathroom."
Well, I mean, you got two televisions, like closed circuit TVs on the dashboard, two digital displays for, I guess, miles per hour and RPMs.
All
It's
the
the most
buttons.
inefficient electronic dashboard.
Yeah.
It looks
Why-
cool though. It looks cool. As a kid, I loved this.
Sure, of
I
course.
still love it. I still
Yeah.
want this
Oh, as a
car right
kid, I
now.
thought this was silly.
Give me with the two screens and all these silly buttons, and I want this car.
It looks
why-
like that spaceship chair that cost $32,000 in the
Oh, yeah.
80s and would slowly rotate.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
didn't do
then
anything.
also on top of that, you have the symbol for the Knight Institute, which is just a Roman gladiator helmet.
Hmm.
So you know they know what knights are.
keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
Who made? Okay, I got you. And now I know everything. Glenn Larson was involved in the development of the $6 Million Man. Are you with me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's how he got Oscar Goldman for those reshoots. Because I think initially they didn't have some of those scenes, and then it's the same thing with Battlestar Galactica. He just sat there with his like roller decks and like called the people he knew and brought them in there. So now they're driving around here in this thing, and I don't think that he talks yet. Does Kit talk yet at this point, or no?
Not yet, but what we
No.
find out is that the Trans Am that Michael Long owned when they got, which he fell on top of when he was shot in the head. Well, Wilton Knight stole that and has now completely converted it into Kit.
I'm completely confused by that too.
Strange, very strange. All with the helicopter, he did all that like
Yeah,
one-
I guess he had like a crane hook on it, and they just picked it up along with the body, and then
Or-
flew it over to his mansion.
Or he's like a Bond villain and he sends out a team to go retrieve it.
And
He's
this is
got
the part
Bond
that
villain
really
well.
confused me. This really confused me that he was just standing there with his Indiana Jones hat. He was walking around. He's commanding helicopters. He's like, talking to people. It's not that it looked like he had a cane or was difficult. It was difficult for him to walk. He was on top of his game just 5 minutes ago, and now he's just laying in bed. It's like if something happened, somebody would take him to the hospital, or there would at least be like an indoor hospital facility. Instead, they're just like, nope. It reminded me of what's it called? Of Revenge of the Sith, when Natalie Portman doesn't feel well and dies.
She dies because she had to.
Right.
Hmm.
The screenplay really needed her to die at that moment.
I think what they were trying to play it off as, because they kept talking about how he was a survivor, how he's living despite the fact that he should be dead, and it's almost like now that he's found his guy that's gonna carry out his mission, like now he can give his body permission to die. I think is what they were trying to go for, but it was for as much time as they've given this pilot. Some of these plot is like really rushed forward to try to get this to the adventure of the week show it's going to be, but they've put like almost a whole movie's worth of plot into this.
It's
I would say
absolutely
the exact
ridiculous.
opposite. There's almost no plot to this because
Well, I mean, there's
you don't know
like
anything. It's 23 minutes. We don't really understand any of the context of any of the characters in the relationship or what they're doing or what they want.
well, it's unexplained plot, I should say. It's it's like they're dropping like, oh, this is happening, but like it's like they're trying to hit all these beats, but they're not fleshing it out with reason or why.
or cause and effect. That's the other part too. Like nothing is kind of lingering, like connecting together to each point. It's we found this dead cop on the side of the road who's luckily alive because he has a metal plate in his skull. So we're going to rechange his appearance so that he can become an agent that works for us. And we're a private institute operating within the United States, technically interfering with legal.
It's James Bond.
know, I
meets
kind of-
Batman
It-
meets
it's like-
Frankenstein.
Privatized James Bond.
It's like Glenn Larson took all the good ideas for the $6 Million Man and threw them aside and said, let's just use what we didn't use for $6 Million Man in this show.
What if the $6 Million Man was a car? That's what it is. What if he was a car and we needed a guy to talk with him?
Well,
Well, he's a guy too, because this guy they rebuilt him.
Pretty much,
They rebuilt
yeah.
him and his car.
I like how in this part that he says again, one man can make a difference. Like again, I think that
When did David Hasselhoff's character ever doubt that? Like he was never in conflict with that reasoning. I don't recall him having an argument. You're wrong, old man. One man can't make a difference. The world's like this, and like he's just such a dumb pilot.
And that's the day you broke script.
No, this is not the worst pilot I've seen. It's just a dumb pilot.
And that's it. He closes his eyes, is dead. Like the last thing he talked to was like Michael Knight about this thing. 5 minutes earlier, he was just walking around. This is so strange. And then Michael's
The
like,
fever snuck up on him.
and Michael had time to change clothes. Look, he's wearing like a blue shirt here.
Then he
Guy
goes into
dies,
leather-
that's
That's
it.
his
red
members
turtleneck,
only
leather
jacket.
jacket.
Well, some
Leather
time has
jacket, red
passed. He's
shirt.
on a mission now.
Wasn't he wearing the red shirt before? What was he wearing earlier? Or was he wearing the blue shirt?
It was
Blue
the
shirt.
blue.
Okay. Not many people can get away with wearing a turtleneck. I'll tell you that.
Almost
I think
no
what
one
he's-
can get away.
Or
What'd you say?
a big round belt buckle like he has.
Or a turtleneck that actually shows off his drooping pecs, because this is before Baywatch. So this is before
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff started to really work out. So he's a little droopy in places.
Well, I still think that somehow he gets away with it. I couldn't wear this turtleneck. If I wore a red turtleneck and that belt buckle, people
You're wearing
would,
a white turtleneck right now, Price.
that is true. But if I wore this in public, what this is what he's wearing, I think people would think.
People,
I don't want to say what they might
think.
think. I don't want to say it's a PG show. I don't want to say what they might think of me. In any case, this is where
Is that an urban
these-
cowboy joke?
I think you're an Apple elitist.
In any case, this is the part where he's like, "Look, it's your new
It's
license
a
and
new
registration."
insurance card for
Yeah,
your
Michael
validated
Knight.
registration card for the kit.
And then he like gives him a wallet. He's like, "Credit cards, all like based on the foundation. You can have whatever you want now." And then this is the part where he's like, "I'm gonna go after Tanya." And then like, I don't know, they're like, "I don't want you to go after Tanya." And then he's like, "I am going after Tanya. Here's the wallet." And he's like, "You knew I was going." He's like, "Yes, I did."
And by the way, that's my car.
Right. This whole conversation is so strange.
Yeah.
Well, they're
He
saying
was
that the other
stopping-
guy, like, he planned it. Like, he said you were going to do this. So you're doing
Right.
it exactly as he said you were going to do.
He was a certified genius. Well, what's this material it's made out of? It feels like skin. Well, it's not metal. It's a new polymer. That
It's
virtually-
Yeah, it's not
Unobtainium.
metal or fiberglass.
yeah.
I will take the car with the two screens. I'm telling you, I love this car. I
Um,
will say
Have,
this
have
is,
any of you guys seen the channel Retro Recipes X Commodore?
No.
He got one of the screen used cars and he's
Oh, wow.
fully like documented it step by step, restoring it.
Wow.
And
Cool.
he did the whole inside, did a voice box that with AI that responds to him and talks to him as he's driving.
Wow.
It's great.
And it
So-
sounds like, what's his name? Who's that actor again? He was in The Graduate. God.
Dustin Hoffman.
no,
No.
I forgot the name. I know what you're
Oh,
talking
he played
about.
Dustin Hoffman's dad. He does the voice for Kit. I can't remember.
Oh,
Yes,
Mr.
you're right.
Phoebe.
Who?
Maybe
Mr.
Daniels, something. William Daniels, yeah.
William Daniels. Yeah, that's the one.
So it's interesting because Kit later they had these kind of bars, these red bars, but now they just have like a red button, red window.
Right.
It's actually just a red light that blinks.
Mhm.
Right. I liked what they did later. I'm happy that they corrected that because this is kind of the other way looks cooler than this. It's nice that they thought of that.
It's funny. It's got all the, go back to the panel. It's got all these like highly sophisticated indicators and then one that says oil.
Oil and air.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And then
important to-
P1, P2, P3, P4. What are these Ps?
But not one that says radio.
Right.
He's
Right.
like trying to figure that out.
This is
I
where
was
he first talks
surprised by
to him.
the amount of songs, popular songs that were in it.
Yeah.
I was-
How
I
did they
was
get
too.
licensing for all this?
Yeah, I was too.
Here, this is the air and the oil part.
Yeah.
Auto cruise, normal cruise, pursuit.
That's
It's-
just moronic, because cruising in any way, like you can pursuit while in a cruise mode. Like you don't need to change it. You're still driving.
Well, normal cruise. In any case, they do this whole thing. He's driving around. This is what you were saying, Sean. I thought about that too. There's a lot of songs here that are known. Some of them may be covers. Maybe it's not the original band, but still, I was surprised that they licensed so many tracks with him
Mhm.
driving here to show the time has passed. And then, like, he falls asleep, which is kind of strange. I mean, why would he fall asleep? I mean, he's usually a responsible guy. Why would he just drive and fall asleep in the middle of the road?
Yeah,
It was-
the editing's so poor we don't realize that. I guess he's supposed to have been on the road for at least 48 hours.
Well, it's
that's, I
that
guess-
sequence for the viewer seemed like 48 hours, so I can relate.
Yes, they wanted to make it seem like time passed, but maybe they should have shown something. Maybe
Like
show
night.
that it's nighttime and daytime. You know what I mean?
Like
Show the
night.
sun going down, show the sun going up, and then he's still riding with the music, and it's a
That's
different
asking
song.
way
And
too
you're like,
much from Glenn A. Larson, man.
so now the police stop him, and then he's like, Michael, you have to think of something quickly. And then he's like,
deny
my
everything.
ear-
Yeah.
I can't
Pretend
hear
you're
you
partially
well."
deaf and have a kink in your neck.
I don't know why they would like buy this. They're like, oh well,
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes
we're
sense.
sorry.
See ya.
You can keep
Well-
going now. Oh.
I was
They have
surprised
to
that
buy
he
it
went with the
because what else would
suggestions.
make sense? He's making all these like dead man turns.
Right.
Yeah. It's like he could have been asleep at the wheel if he's making those turns. Listen, Roscoe, you redneck California cop.
Comtron. That's right.
Comtron.
Yeah, let's
Before I
get it right
pronounced
next
it the
time.
wrong way.
Yeah, that's such a that's totally a writer of the 70s not knowing anything about technology, thinking that's a company name.
And the font even. This is like
Yeah, this is like the most popular computer font in the 80s.
like this is such a cliche. Like
Yeah.
I laughed when I saw this. This is the part where I'm like Austin Powers. Comtron is absolute Austin Powers.
VirtueCon from Austin Powers sounds more legitimate of a company than Comtron.
That is true. Like even Austin Powers didn't do Comtron.
Yeah,
yeah, we
but so much of this, like, I mean, this is the '80s feel. You know, I mean, this is like RoboCop. This
Well, no,
like
no.
the
this
idea
is
of-
Glenn Ars- remember, Glenn Larson is notorious for being one of the biggest hacks of Hollywood. Like he stole everything. He composited it into something that he called new. He convinced enough people to buy it because he had a lot. He knew how to make great relationships. But everything that he produced was something that was watered down that could have been actually great. Like all the comparison shows to the stuff that he ripped off were far superior. Like $6 Million Man. Oh gosh, what was it? Was essentially like The Fugitive, but just with a robot body. And then it's like, yeah, now we're just gonna not make him being chased by the authorities. And you know, that's it. We just want an anthology show where guys are traveling around.
Yep. And then this part he arrives and there's ladies, and then he sees that Lonnie lady. Who
Yeah,
was
the one spy. Yeah.
Now, initially in the script, this is what I'm telling you, that supposedly they already filmed lines of this lady being a love interest for Michael Knight. How would she have been a love interest in the initial setup? I don't know how all of this would have worked, but something changed and they had to reshoot or do something. So I'm kind of curious what their initial plan was, but they changed something. And then this also is the reshoot. This initially, it didn't exist that these guys would be stealing this car. They just added it because they didn't have enough runtime. Maybe because of the changes, they ended up cutting stuff that they didn't have, so they were missing time. So they're like, let's just put two goofy guys stealing a car.
I want a series of just those two guys.
Well, but then you also have Pamela Susan Shoop, who, man, what a looker.
She was also in Halloween 2.
She's Halloween 2. She was in another Lee Majors series, The Fall Guy. She did an episode of that. She ends up becoming the love interest, and you have to think like, you know what? Yeah, I can believe that because she's got a figure on her compared to the other lady.
Right,
More
but the thing is, the thing is, though, I feel like he never really, how should I say this, takes advantage of the situation here. She's like, "Oh, you're so great." He's like, "Thanks, toots. I'll see you later." Like he doesn't do anything.
No.
Well,
He promises to come back, though.
We'll have to do a show of all the times that Michael Knight didn't take advantage of the situation.
So this is the part where she's with the owner, I guess. Is this the same owner that we saw before? It looks like a different actor. Is this the same guy in the casino?
I don't think it is.
No, that's that's a different actor.
No, because isn't the casino guy the head of security?
No, there was one guy that was the owner, and this I think is supposed to be the owner too, but he doesn't look like the owner.
And you are right. He does not look like the owner. He looks a lot younger.
But this is a different company.
No, I don't
thought
think
it
so.
was.
I don't think so. I think it's all supposed to be the same company.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
this is
That
so
was a previous
strange.
job. This is their next mark.
It is.
It seems
Yes.
like it.
Wait,
It's
but I
'cause-
thought Pamela Shoop's husband was killed like a year ago by this woman, not 3 months ago.
You know,
Again, like
Yes,
this is very convoluted.
but
I
they
don't
also
understand it.
mentioned that this is their, the one that they were doing before. There's a line that they're talking with Michael, and telling him, we know what her next target is. They're going after, so this is not the original people that they were dealing from and stealing from before. They had to
Not the
escape.
casino people, right? Okay. So ridiculous.
Yeah,
Now, they could have been doing these jobs simultaneously, doing long cons on both of them, but yeah, when they took the pictures and got out of there and fled and shot him, that was them like exiting out and disappearing from that mark.
and becoming another high-level employee at another company.
Yes.
So strange. None of this makes any sense. Anyhow, she's like, I had a husband and he died because blah, 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 blah." I don't know what. How did the husband die? He was blamed for drinking on the job, and then he lost his job. But then how did he die?
Found
He
in a
woke up in a
ditch.
ditch.
Oh,
Or no,
As
his
you do.
body was found in a ditch or something. Like he got a
Mhm.
car accident and he was drunk. But
I
was-
see. And he
was
didn't.
not an
She said she
alcoholic?
didn't drink.
he didn't drink. He was a sober man who had a hot wife. Everything to live for.
Yep. And then he's like, "Listen, I'm trying to get Tanya too." And then they drive.
How can we make it more convoluted?
Let's have her be a waitress trying to support her child, but able to afford a housekeeper.
Oh,
So weird. And then the son is already here, like introducing his son to this thing. There are so many strange things going on here.
Well, that's the kid from the first Neverending Story.
that's what I was gonna say.
It is.
Just so you
Mhm.
know, Price, when we end here at this scene, it's the end of the episode.
I see.
So you better enjoy it.
But it was like the kid's like, "Are you gonna be my new dad or something like that, or are you gonna marry
Right.
my mom?"
We'll see, kid.
We'll
Tune
see,
in
kid.
next
And then
week.
she's like, I'm going to go to the roller derby.
Michael's nice and like, nah, I don't do that sort of thing.
The demolition derby, not the
Demolition
roller
Derby,
derby.
yes.
Oh, what did I say? Roller derby? You know what I
Roller
meant.
Derby. Yeah.
Totally different
A
sport.
demolition derby full of Cadillacs and Lincolns and a Trans Am is the only
Yeah.
one that stands out.
And then they try to steal
Jimmy
the
the
car,
Lock.
but they're not able to.
How accurate is this?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you that, Nick.
Oh,
Yeah. No, not really. Like if you were gonna steal that car, that's not how you'd go about it.
Oh, you jump in when the door's open.
I mean, they're sitting there. That would have had a sidebar lock on it for that year. Picking it would be quite difficult, actually. So, but like a Slim Jim could open it in seconds.
Mhm.
so is this already the scene from the next episode, Nick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
They weren't consistent with the little tease to commercial break. They did that picture in picture.
Yeah.
with,
The stealing of the car is like how the next episode, and it's that was a funny thing that the car could have immediately taken over, But he let them joyride before messing with
Right.
it.
It's so strange. I didn't really understand why he was letting them joyride, but whatever.
Oh, and I also got the slight impression of those two reminding me of the guys that steal the car from Ferris Bueller out of the garage.
Yeah. It reminded me a bit there, just because it's also a talking car in the live action Inspector Gadget movie. There's some guys that try to steal that car, and the car does something very similar where it launches them out of it, which I was thinking is probably a reference to the show.
Nice.
Well, I think that we went over the first half, and maybe now we can just, that was part one of the pilot. We can just, go around and talk about some thoughts about what we thought about what we saw until now. Ro, how did you feel this first hour of the pilot established the world building of Knight Rider?
It was enjoyable to watch, but holy smokes, a lot of story points that didn't really make sense. And one of the things that I hate is when characters do stuff that don't make sense, and this had a lot of it. But
Rhonda Nefero says not going to finish it. I just want to tell everybody, when I first set it up, I forgot that it was like a 2-episode pilot. So what we're going to do is this week we went over part 1, which is the first episode, and next week we're going to go over episode 2. So 2 episodes are the pilot, and we don't want to rush it. We want to really go over and talk about our stuff and be more relaxed. Also read some of your comments and all that kind of stuff. So just so you
That's
know,
what we did
everybody
for Quantum Leap,
listening,
too.
we did part 1 of the pilot, which is 1 episode. It's called Night of the Phoenix Part 1. Next week, Night of the Phoenix Part 2. And in the time that we also have hopefully left over next week, we're also going to do some voting to see what shows interest you, so we can get a grasp of maybe some of the things we want to explore on this show.
And I think Mary put a link on Roku if you guys want to watch these 2 episodes for free, and it's early in the broadcast that she put up a link, so thank you very much for that.
Oh, cool.
In the future, what I'll do is also, when we vote and we know the kind of things we want to watch, what we'll do is I'll give enough of a heads up to people, and we'll try to find ways where people can actually find it and watch it in advance, like what Mary White just did. And that way, people will know what we're talking about more when we watch it. Although I feel like even people that didn't watch this pilot still can see what we're looking at and understand. It's not really rocket science here. It's kind of ridiculous.
You can
I
find
don't
a
know,
lot of
Bryce.
stuff we'll be
Even if
watching
you
on
watch
Tubi.
the pilot, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Tex Rogers is here.
Yes, Tex is here, and yes, I will be here for the voting.
We're going to micromanage that whole voting situation.
It'll take 3 weeks.
3 episodes of us voting.
You'll have multiple weeks of having to do Battlestar.
I'm gonna create a 27 bracket head versus head to find out what episode.
No,
we're
This
gonna
isn't going to
do.
be all the Glenn A. Larson pilots, is it? Because that's going to be torture.
You know what, though? It leaves a lot to discuss, though. And say what
I
you-
think we'll probably get to them.
we'll probably get to them.
Yeah, we'll definitely get a few of them. I just don't want it to all be Glenn A. Larson stuff.
I think we're going to get a lot of, because listen, $6 Million Man is a good one. I think that's a fair one to do.
Are you sure? Because there was like 4 or 5 made-for-TV movies of that character before they went to the series pilot, and all of them have been like retroactively categorized as like a previous season.
Right, I do remember. Well, we'll have to find the first thing that ever happened with that, and then we'll see. What is that noise?
Is
Somebody's
that one of
traffic.
the Nick's
That
place?
was a guy with a really noisy muffler outside my van.
Oh.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Sounded like an animal.
Well, you should have been here last night at midnight. He decided to do donuts in front of my house while throwing firecrackers out the window. So the dogs just loved it.
Oh, jeez.
Ah.
In any case, so I like that Julie Evans says the pilot of this episode was okay. Not as good as Quantum Leap one, but it's okay. Quantum Leap was like 70 levels above this. Quantum Leap did
Yeah.
everything it needed to establish the lore, created some mystery, explained everything that we didn't understand, but did it in a way that it kind of develops. I thought it handled it really well, the Quantum Leap pilot. This I agree with script as a jumbled, and everybody else that said here, jumbled screenplay that barely makes any sense. The only way that they got away with it is that the 80s were that type of time where, you would just
Blame
accept.
the 80s.
Yeah,
There
I
were
mean,
a lot of gimmick shows, that's for sure.
you just accepted a lot of weird things, and I feel like if nothing else, even when I was watching it, it's so preposterous. Sometimes when something is so preposterous, it becomes a bit of fun.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
if everybody was serious about this plot and they all like thought up of every single thing, and then a few things didn't work, I'd really notice. But since every single thing I see here is like ridiculous, you start kind of just saying, okay, whatever, this is just ridiculous. There's something to enjoy when something is ridiculous. Sean, what did you think about it?
Same as you guys. It was convoluted but entertaining. That I was kind of half watching it and working on artwork, and I was gonna say, like, at the beginning, I felt like there was enough intrigue. I was like, wow, this is probably gonna be a really great show with the chasing down the girl, even though I don't really know what's going on. And then, yeah, it didn't work out super well. But I don't know.
Script, did I ask you what you thought about it? I think I did, right?
Yeah. It's one of the most convoluted pilots. It's a terrible pilot, but I mean, the gimmick itself is actually really cool.
The car is good. The car wins everybody over. And I'm going to say something else that I don't usually say this. I don't know if David Hasselhoff can play every character as an actor, but I like him as Michael Knight.
Wait till he plays his evil twin. Well, not really his twin brother, but his evil twin.
Garth. Yeah, it's not really as evil because it's that in and of itself was outrageous.
It's Wilton Knight's biological child that has been, emancipated, estranged.
So weird, yeah.
And he's got Carr as his.
Oh my god!
But you're right. The gimmick is really good because this came out in '82. I would have been 1. And I remember being in preschool and desperately wanting the action figure and toy car, and then also like the Power Wheels that was out around this time, and I never got either. So it's tragic.
And it's car with a K, like the alarm
Kit,
system, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of this part 1 of the 2-parter pilot, Nick?
So it was fun. I actually kind of liked the little espionage stuff at the beginning. But I will say, having watched these back to back, I like part 2 a whole lot better. So just kind of a little spoiler for next week. But there's just a lot of cheese and fun to this. And I think for a script, we should vote next week. The 3 different pilots of $6 Million Man and Battlestar Galactica.
Listen, even if you don't like the script, if something is good, there's less to say about it. When something is not good, there's a lot to say about it. So at least you can use it as an example for what somebody is doing wrong.
I mean, I will say this. So like Lenny Larson did a Columbo ripoff that ended up becoming pretty good called Quincy M.E. And he had almost nothing to do with
Jack Klugman, Quincy, right?
What's that?
Jack Klugman was Quincy, no?
Jack Klugman from the
Odd
Couple television.
He was
series.
Oscar Madison, yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it enough to buy the whole season.
A Canadian show called Wojak.
Yeah, I liked, those shows were pretty good back in the day. I thought that Columbo was pretty good. Quincy, what were you saying, Kojak? I didn't mind that.
Kojak is the Telly Savalas show, but the one that Quincy is technically a ripoff of in addition to Columbo, is called Wojak, W-O-J. It has John Vernon in it, and it was made in Canada by the CBC. You won't be able to find episodes of it because the CBC has never digitized it, and they don't spend their money on any of their television shows that they have archived on film to convert over to digital, which is a shame because they have, like, they made good television shows between the 60s all the way up until the end of the 1980s, and you'll never find their episodes available for distribution.
I thought you said it was a lock picking show called LoJack.
That sounds more like another Glenn Larson.
Did you say
idea.
Wojak like with a W?
Yes.
Like
There's a meme. There's like a meme with Wojak. That's like with the NPCs and the non-NPCs. There's like a Wojak.
That's like a
meme.
soy jack, isn't it?
Wojak is a guy. I can't explain it. It's like you have Pepe, and you have like Wojak.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's the soy jack is the white NPC, right? That's
right, and he's Wojak, and then the other one is the soy one, and they usually talk to each other. And one is like Wojak is the more like based one, I think, whereas the other one is like the idiot, the white one that you're saying.
I'm more a fan of Kolchak.
Kojak, yeah.
Kolchak.
Koljak.
Darren McGavin. It's with the Chris, what's his face, based the X-Files on.
You're more partial to Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote is I don't hate it.
Murder She Committed.
I mean, Angela Lansbury did a really good job in that role, but yeah, that show. I mean, how could she go to every town and just be there when there's a murder? There's like 500 episodes of her showing up and there's a murder.
No, I think it's the same town for the most part.
Yeah.
Did she also
I've
have a
gone on the
crossover
tour.
with
I've
Matlock?
seen every outdoor location where there was a murder. There's a tour, and I've gone and done that while camping.
That's funny.
Because I like to go camping in that town, and that's actually the town of Murder, She Wrote, where I had my honeymoon.
I see.
She's trying to kill off the population so she can buy houses cheap.
I mean, I don't mind though. It's a pretty good show. I mean, for whatever it's supposed to be, I think that Murder, She Wrote isn't bad. But back to Knight Rider, like I said, there's fun to be had here. The main thing is they got the car right. I think that they understood that the car is important, that Kit talks, and I think that the casting of David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight, as odd as that sounds, because you may not think of him as the greatest actor, but I think he's perfect for this role. He's very likable, and he works well with the car. Like, I don't know why David Hasselhoff with this car, it works.
Well,
even Edward Mulhare, like the veteran British actor, which I think was even on an episode of Doctor Who back in the day. I thought it's nice. I think that he's a good kind of foil or whatever you want to call it. And once they bring in Patricia McPherson as like the brainy lady that like knows the technology stuff, I thought it was good. Brainy lady that doesn't look bad too.
We got a nice super chat there.
Oh, Jason Webster. For $5, Jason Webster, $5 Australian dollars. I grew up with series such as Magnum PI, Knight Rider, Simon and Simon, Matt Houston, and Riptide. Enjoyed them. I think that Magnum PI and Knight Rider, I'm with you. Simon and Simon is one that used to come on, and I watched a bit of it, but never really connected with it. Matt Houston, I'm not sure about. And Riptide, I feel like I watched it, but I have like a very vague recollection of Riptide.
I remember Simon and Simon being on like all the freaking time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you couldn't get away from Simon and Simon, but actually, it wasn't when it was on. I wasn't that excited. You know what I mean? They shove it into all these places, but I wasn't that excited about it personally. Tex Rogers and I finally agree on something. He has never connected to Simon and Simon.
I feel like Magnum PI has in a lot of ways a similar vibe to this show, but without the the sci-fi elements.
Without the Hoff.
We also have Don Belisario, who kind of like took the reins on that show.
Right, Magnum PI and Knight Rider. Those are the best shows out of these five. I absolutely like those two shows. Like I said, Simon and Simon, take it or leave it. Matt Houston. Does anybody know what Matt Houston is? I don't even know what it is.
No.
Can't tell you. And Riptide sounds familiar. I feel like it was one of those shows that would be in the 80s that they put after a show that I liked, but I don't remember much about it.
UFO is a good show.
But thank you for the super chat, Jason Webster. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, we went through this first part, and it was rather underwhelming, and a lot of it was reshot. Nick, you said at the beginning that you felt that the second episode seemed a little more well put together than the first one, and
Well, and what I'd have to do with that is, in addition to the confusing plot and all that kind of stuff, this episode felt very much like the first episode of TNG, and that you go in there and the characters are stiff and they're doing things that aren't there. So like the first interactions between Kit and Michael don't feel like Kit and Michael.
Right.
But by the time we get to the second episode, it feels like it's going to like their banter is what the show is built on. Just like when we were doing
Right.
Quantum Leap, it's all about Sam and Al's banter. Kit and Michael, just him kind of being this overconfident bravado, and then just Kit constantly cutting him down, and making fun of him despite how cool he feels he is, and how cool the audience might feel is like Kit's always in there with a snappy one-liner, done so straight-faced, and it just works so well. And I feel like in the second part of the pilot, that was there, that chemistry was there, but in this first one and their first interactions, they did not feel like the rest of the show.
Ron Donofrio says the show is feeling itself out, and
It
I
took a while.
agree.
The other
I
part
mean-
too is Kit also sounded like a catty wife as opposed to an AI that's trying to service the pilot as what we were told is what it's supposed to do.
Tex Rogers says that he has watched Matt Houston. He liked it as far as he could recall. That's interesting.
I just
Julia-
looked up Matt Houston and Riptide, and they all seem like Magnum PI spin-offs or carbon copies.
Probably carbon copies. Julie Evans says she loves the A-Team. Yeah, the A-Team, it's a classic. Marla Sharondoff, she loved Murder, She Wrote, and Matlock. Been a fan of Wonder Woman since I was 4. I really liked Wonder Woman. Wonder
yeah.
Woman is an interesting one. I don't know if we'll ever consider that as a
That has
possible
2 pilots technically.
Right, because they actually switched network. They start off where she's like battling, in World War II or something.
Yep.
And then suddenly she's in the 70s, like, wearing bell bottoms, and nobody even.
And Steve Trevor's son looks exactly like Steve Trevor and named Steve Trevor Jr.
And she's into him as well. And Deborah Winger was here as her younger sister or something. That was so weird. Was she your sister in the World War II? Or
Yes.
was she your sister
No,
in the
not
later?
in later years.
Later?
Yeah.
A lot of strange things. Definitely, we're not limiting ourselves. I'm not saying that Wonder Woman could never be a pilot we'd watch. Rhonda DeFaro says Wonder Woman has a rather sexist subplot to it. Did not know that. Wonder Girl. I guess that's what the Deborah Winger thing was called.
We should watch the
And she's got her
Kathy
bracelets of submission.
Lee Horsley
Lee,
played
the
Matt
Kathy Lee Crosby version of Wonder Woman.
There's also the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man television show of the 70s.
Oh, I love that. I
Well,
can
see, we
never
can
get
just
enough
have
of
a
that theme
superhero
song.
month.
There's a YouTube channel that's doing a 4K restoration of those episodes.
Which ones?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man with Nicholas Hammond from the 70s.
Oh,
love
wow.
that
That's
song.
interesting.
We can do a classic superhero month. Do Wonder Woman, Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man, and Batman. Adam West.
That all
Should
sounds
also
pretty
do
cool.
The
Oh,
Flash
don't
from the
forget the
90s.
George Reeves Superman. That's only 30 minutes. So
Oh yeah.
So Caleb Levine, back when then vehicles were main characters, not just Kit, but the General Lee, Fallon Guy's truck. There were a lot of movies vehicles as well. Yeah, but I think that the General, that was a strong one, and Kit, those were for me the strongest one.
Someone previously was bringing out one of the commercials when this came on was making fun of the General Lee, saying that Kit can do more than jump puddles.
I guess Tracy Alexander saying, "Oh, okay, I can catch up. She'll watch on Roku." Yeah, I hope you do. Nice to see you, by the way, Tracy. And then, yeah, I guess so we'll definitely. And this is what I was saying, that I think it really opens the door for us to try a lot of things and to watch a lot of different shows. And yeah, I mean, one week we watch a show that maybe some people like more, some people like less, but we'll have an interesting conversation about it. Next week we jump to a different show. And I feel like this is the type of show where we have to constantly be on our toes, because we're looking at a lot of stuff and kind of giving an analysis on a lot of different things. But also you guys, it's more variety. I don't regret the Quantum Leap thing. I love it. If there were another 50 episodes of Quantum Leap, that's what we'd be doing. But sometimes good things, one chapter ends and another one begins. So really happy, and I'm so happy that Sean was able to join us today too. I know that it's a rarity. It's funny because I was telling you before, I'm like, Sean, I know you can never make it, blah blah blah. You didn't say anything. You're like, yeah.
To be honest, I've been really tired, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it or not.
I see. All right, that's fair enough. We have shout outs that Mary White has very kindly set up for us. So we have Mur Rockstra, Caleb Levine, Tracy Alexander, Matthew McGee, and Chrissy McGee. Hopefully they're watching this and enjoying it. Ron Donofero, Michelle Ferry, Justin Channels, Super Mario Brothers 3, Jason Webster. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Also Mary White and also Jason Webster. Shout outs part 2, Marla Sharondoff, Jim Noxious, Sammy Sung, Ghost Fixter, Palm. It looked like something else from far away. Never mind. Palm 5966. It looked like that was an R and an N, but then I kind of looked closer and I'm like, Palm. Julie
Sean.
Evans, not Z3PO, Robot Head, Poker Ace, Rhino the Hamster, and Tex Rogers. Probably Palm 56. I'm not even going to finish my thought. I was going to say that he probably visits Comtron a lot.
This is where you need a button that cuts to the Animaniacs clips when they're gone. Good night, everybody.
Oh, thank you for sharing the links. Yeah, you should follow everybody here. There's Ro, and there's Nick, and there's Script, and there's Sean,
Hey.
and yeah, and Happy New Year, Tomahawk 511. Nice to see you here.
It
Hello,
was Tex Rogers who remembered that commercial.
So yeah, this was a lot of fun. And then just talk for another second. I'm just looking at something for 1 second. So tell jokes.
Comtron.
Very funny, Michael.
I don't know why the Comtron thing makes me laugh. It's the stupidest sign I've ever seen. It's so ridiculous. Somehow,
Font-
out of all the
font-
silly things we saw today, that was like maybe the silliest.
Fontgate.
Fontgate.
It's
Yeah.
done in the same font that the local Computer Works in my area that does computer repairs.
Well, what's going to happen now is we're going to, put our outro on, and we're going to be here next week for part 2 of the Knight Rider pilot, which was a 2-episode pilot. It wasn't 2-episode when it aired, but it was like a 2-hour. I mean, with commercials, it's less, but you understand what I'm saying. So we're going to go over part 2 next time. Thank you, Jason Webster. Thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
You know what,
Happy
Bryce?
New Year.
You need, you know how we've been wanting to do a plot hole
Right.
shirt? You need to put a hole with a plot hole and then show Kit driving through it.
All right. I'll see what I can do. Sometimes they
Or
have
a
a
legal-
problem, though.
A
for
legally
rights.
distinct one.
They have sometimes issues with, but there is an emoji for plot hole. So yeah, we have that. And thank you all. It's been really fun hanging out with you, and I'm really looking forward to this new adventure this year where we're doing something else, but still hanging out here on Thursdays and doing our thing. And we hope you guys are all gonna have fun with us. And on that very positive note, I'm gonna play our outro and be on our way.
I'm such an awesome guy. I make so many videos. And my friends are awesome too. They make so many videos. I'm such an awesome guy. I make so many videos. Now we are an awesome group, making live streams for you. I'm such an awesome guy. I make so many videos. Thank you all for tuning in today. Yeah. I'm such an awesome guy.